Welcome back, everybody, to the second part of Real Steel Sports. You're listening live on WCR Radio to James Krasneric. It was an interesting week around the NFL. I discussed the Monday night game tonight between the Falcons and the Jets, and I'm going to now break down everything else that happened in Week 5 in my favorite segment, which has once again made a return: the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good from Week 5. There are 3 unbeaten teams left. The Broncos, Saints, and Falcons all improved to 5-0. The Broncos win a thrill over the Cowboys. The Saints win a very, very thoroughly game against the Chicago Bears. And the Kansas City Chiefs hold off a late Titans rally. They're all 5-0 at this point. They're the only undefeated teams in the NFL. The Saints have been very, very consistent on both sides of the football. A defense that was thought to probably struggle this year is actually proven to be very, very formidable. They are scoring 27 points a game and allowing just under 15. Pardon me for a second. Pardon me, technical difficulties. The Broncos are 5-0 with possibly the most prolific offense in NFL history. Peyton Manning, through 5 games, has 20 touchdown passes and only 1 interception, and his passer rating this year is 136. To put that in perspective, a passer rating of perfect in an NFL game is 158.3. So the fact that he's 22.3 points shy for a season it's sick. That was a shout out to my friend, Mr. Rob Myers, who just came by the booth to express his fanfare with the Denver Broncos and his love affair with Peyton Manning. And the Kansas City Chiefs making a turnaround from last year. It's only 2 wins last year. They got 5 this year. The new Andy Reid regime with Alex Smith as quarterback and, Justin Houston, Tom Ali, Don Terry Poe, and Eric Berry on Brandon Flowers on that defense, they've proven to be a very steady unit on both sides of the ball. Very much like what the 49ers were when Alex Smith was there last year in 2011. Very good defense and a steady offense to win games. The other good thing that I saw was a team that I had underrated in the preseason that has proven to be very, very much a contender this year, the Indianapolis Colts, and overcoming a fourth-quarter deficit and a 12-point first-quarter deficit to take down the unbeaten and one of the best teams in the league, the Seattle Seahawks. Andrew Luck's 9th career fourth-quarter comeback resulted in the Indianapolis Colts improving to 4-1 and taking sole possession of first in the AFC South Division. Right now, they lead the Titans by a game and the Texans by 2. The Broncos and Cowboys had a thriller in Dallas, a 51-48 shootout won by the Denver Broncos, which featured 99 points, the 4th most in NFL history, tied with several other games. Peyton Manning and Tony Romo in this game were both magnificent. 9 combined touchdowns and 920 yards. And the stat that I thought was most interesting in that game is even if you get shutouts and even if you get, other games where, you got both teams putting up a lot of points, you're going to get like 4 or 5 punts. There was 1 punt between both these teams the entire games. Dallas had a 51-yarder, and that was it. Other than that, either turnover and downs, turnover, or score. It just goes to show how prolific these offenses have been. Now time for the bad part of Week 5. The New England Patriots showed their true colors in a 13-6 loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the New England Patriots have been winning games this year with William as one receiver, as Mary is the next. That's a joke, by the way. That's an old joke on Pitt football schedule, but that's besides the point. They have 2 receivers starting for them that are undrafted. Danny Amendola has been an NFL veteran, so, it's kind of different for him. But, the other receivers on that team are just completely overrated. Like, I know they're given a lot of credit for what happened in Atlanta, but I would have to say that Atlanta's a much different animal than the Cincinnati Bengals defense. And against these good teams with good defenses, they're going to have trouble scoring. And if they have to rely on defense to win, if Tom Brady can't win, then, you know, they're going to be in deep trouble. I know start off 4-0, but that doesn't mean anything right now. And Brady, in something that I was incredibly pleased about, his passing touchdown in a game streak ended at 52. So Drew Brees, for now, holds the record with 54 consecutive games with a touchdown pass, just like I want him to hold the record of. And another very, very malicious performance was turned in by the Carolina Panthers offensive line. They allowed 7 sacks to the Cardinals to top the total of 15 sacks to Cam Newton on the season. Now, if they play that out over a true 16-game season, that's 60 sacks they're going to give up projected. And, you know, Cam Newton, you can't let him get hit like that. You can't let your starting quarterback keep getting hit like that, because if you do, it's going to mess with his psyche. And he's not going to be able to stay in the pocket and complete passes. And for all the glory of Tony Romo's performance yesterday against the Broncos, his pick late in the game led to a Bronco field goal, and that ended the game effectively for the Cowboys and dropped them to below 500. The Texans and Matt Schaub, however, lost their 3rd straight game, and Schaub has now 4 straight games with a pick 6. What's funny was he initially was tied for the record with 3 with John Elway, but right after they showed that statistic on Sunday Night Football, he was picked off for a touchdown the very, very next play. So I thought that was kind of amusing that he gets picked off right after they showed that statistic, just to jinx him. But now we move on to the part of the segment that can make you just sick, and it's the ugly part. You get the Giants and the Jaguars, who are 0-5. The Giants and Jaguars have pretty much been, you know, shooting themselves in the foot in different ways. The Giants have been shooting themselves, and the bullets come back and hit them, and the Jaguars have just been missing with their shots. Jacksonville this year has 51 points all season long on offense. Denver had 51 points in the game yesterday. The Giants have 17 turnovers. They're on pace for over 50 turnovers, which would be one of the highest totals in league history, all things considered. They have not been able to consistently hold on to the football because their defense is terrible, their offensive line is terrible, they can't run the football. Eli Manning's been forced to win games, and he's got 12 interceptions already. Then you have Detroit, who was just miserable in their game against Green Bay, because you're playing a defense 27th in points and 28th in yards allowed, and they put up 9 points and 286 yards. I mean, come on, you have to have guys when Calvin Johnson's not playing that can at least play some pressure off the Detroit defense to make stops all of a sudden. I mean, yeah, they lost the game. They didn't get blown out that badly, but, you know, they were never really in it. And for my money, the most disappointing team this year is the Houston Texans, because it's one thing to have talent. It's another thing, you know, to be not talented at all and not win, but it's actually worse to be a decent team with a decent roster and yet just not making any headway at all. Because if 3 straight losses, one of them was a 20-6 fourth quarter lead against the Seahawks. The other 2 were games where they were never in it from the beginning, against Baltimore and against San Francisco last night. I think the Matt Schaub and Gary Kubiak era as quarterback and coach might be over, because Kubiak has routinely come up short in big games with either bad play calling or, you know, poor decision making, and Schaub's just been absolutely terrible in some of these games because he's not proven that he can take the next step and become an elite quarterback. I mean, there's a good chance next year they may go out and look for a quarterback. I'm kind of surprised they didn't pursue Josh Freeman more than they did after he was cut by Tampa. But anyway, that's my sports segment for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 when I talked about the Pirates win over the Cardinals in Game 3, and also the Atlanta Falcons New York Jets breakdown of Monday Night Football. I will be back on Wednesday, play one more song, and I'll be signing out. Take care, everybody.
the darkest side of me. No one will ever change this animal I have become.